So, Don Dukun. Yes, I'm paid bunny ears, if you want to call it that. And I also watched the movie again with my brother here, Sai Ali, right? With our own individual money. The next day after the gala premiere, right?
Because he genuinely enjoy it.
Yeah.
I want to try it out. And this is not just for, oh, we're paid. Because we're not. And this is not for our friend. Because, like, dude, I'm going to shit on any movie, especially if it's made by a friend. And that's what I expect from my friends as well. To shit on my movies if I make something that sucks.
And yeah, our initial reaction video with our gang Munif from Buzz Pop, right? I don't know how I posted it everywhere and it blew up on TikTok like shit. It blew up to my face in a good way. We got FYP and everything. So thank you to you mad lads at TikTok for making it viral and everything.
Also on Facebook, Instagram, on other
Instagram.
media.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that. Okay, let's get out of the way because I don't want to be so much like Don Arif himself, who is a freaking influencer. All right, so the movie Don Arif. Sorry, I mean Don Dukun. Damn it, bro. Okay, so Don Dukun is a movie by Waan Hafiz, who directed a bunch of movies, and the only notable one that I think should be remembered and not the others is Hantu Mudim. I cannot stress that enough. It's a very, very fun dick joke movie. Yes, it's a dick joke movie because Hantu Mudim means Mudim in Malaysia means the guy who does circumcision but in a traditional way. So Hantu means ghost. So it's about a dead circumcision guy. So that's long story short, that's the movie. But the follow up, which is like ignoring the bad ones that he did, Waan Hafiz, the director, this is it. Don Dukun, his latest one for 2024. Yes.
Let's start at the beginning. Like, the opening is already so much fun. Like, both Yusof Haslam and Zul Ariffin, they play essentially their ancestors in the past, right?
Yes.
And yeah, again, I did mention it by the other short reaction video by now. I like the puns in this movie. Hantu tak sekolah. Nice.
And according
Yeah,
to
in the bus sekolah thing.
and according to people who is familiar about that story, there's more to it. I mean, yeah, that pun is still funny, but there's something about an ustaz here in Malaysia, right? His name is Malaysia. Harundin, if I'm not mistaken, his name is someone, or he himself told this urban legend where he drives an old rust bucket of a bus, right? And then he does this ghost exorcism or something, and they keep all these ghosts trapped inside the bus and go to like a remote forest to leave them there so they don't disturb the human civilization. That's what I heard. And yeah, it's also reference to that, and also there's connecting it to the pun. I actually didn't realize the pun until you tell me actually. I just know about the context of the urban legend because Munif told me that. So yeah.
And speaking of urban legends, this is what the movie is based on. Similar to the concepts of films like Alif, Dalam Tujuh Dimensi.
Oh man, another underrated gem, yes.
And then Troll Hunter.
Yeah.
This is the kind of movie that it plays with the tropes of urban legends, mythology,
Supernatural stuff.
Some people call it tahyul, and then mix in with some religious themes. And the entire point is just to use that as device to tell a story.
Yeah.
It is not there to preach, to make fun of any religion, to say that these actors and these people that saying these scripts believe in these things. It is not at all like that. It is just, okay, so like Harry Potter, like I love the entire base of Harry Potter is the modern world, but there's somewhere out there, there's like a community of people who are born purely as magicians.
Yeah.
And then there's also Star Wars, galaxy far, far away. It's not the future. It's like it's right now, but far, far away. Like I like that. We just go to like a distant place, so we can not even wear our suspicion or disbelief because we're already like on another destination. We're on a boat that sails to another island already.
Yeah.
So Yeah, keep in mind, this is not that kind of movie. If you're like, oh, are they gonna preach to me? No.
No.
Or even if you're pro preaching, you're not gonna get the preaching that you want. I'm sorry. This is a movie that is made for fun, not made for that kind of thing. And because of that, I'm gonna say right now, again, this is made by one of our friends, Zain Azrai.
He's the he creates the idea, the concept of it. Yeah.
With his team, of course, not just him alone, but he like came out to us, like it came out with the concept, and then he told us, like, in our private group, shout outs to you guys, you know who you are, we love you. Yeah, that's where we actually go for the most part to discuss about films. Keep guys going this long, right?
Yeah.
And that I'm gonna have bias on that. And another is, usually I have a stick up my ass, but today I've removed it. This review, I'm gonna focus more on my enjoyment of the film as just like a normie film watcher, and I'm not gonna be much of a critic.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair because the movie is for fun anyway. So
Yeah.
yeah.
The casting is perfect. And by that, it's not like people see, like, of course this guy is this, of course that woman is that. No, it's not one of those. It's like the director and the caster knows exactly what they're doing together.
Yeah.
They get the exact kind of people that they want, that they can extract the best performance out of.
Yeah.
They know the strengths and weaknesses of not only the characteristics of the characters that they write, but also the actors that they are working with. We have some of the worst, some of the blandest actors out there today or in the past that comes up to screen on this film that give an excellent job. In fact, everyone in the ensemble did a great job.
Yes.
And that is, I think, a big part of it is because of the direction that is given to them.
Yeah.
Fresh off Sheriff,
Yes.
Zul Ariffin, oh god, he's proven to me that he's not a one-note actor recently. In Sheriff, there is like a glimpse of his comedic side of it, right? Of his acting.
He has some comedic
But
chops already.
that character, right? Sheriff is more of a cynical type, right? But this character, he is non-reserved, very open and honest, very genuine type of person. And when he's funny, it's because he's a genuinely funny person. It's like, he's the kind of guy that, in your group, right? You drink coffee together, right? And then one of them just make jokes that it's not made for the stage. It's just for you guys, and you can laugh along. He's that guy. I love it so much, and I think he got off like a long way from, like, was it like J Revolusi?
J Revolusi and
Tombiruo. Like Tombiruo, yes, you can argue, oh, he's wearing a mask, that's why he didn't get to show his stuff there. No, I disagree. There's like a bunch of, like, like Mandalorian season 1, right? That, you can still act the F out, right? Even if you cover your face.
Yes.
Deadpool, things like that. Okay, that's him. Yusuf Aslam, I don't know what people seem to tell me as if he has a lot of stuff going on in this movie. I think he's not there that much, but when he is, he's good. He's fine. He's a great father, a great father figure. He feels very much what we will assume how he would treat his prodigal sons. Right?
Yeah.
And on top of that, his comedic side when he's playing his ancestor, and even himself, like his character, yeah, he is like, he knows his stuff.
Yes.
It's like he has been a fan of comedy all this while, never got to do the role, finally getting the role and nailing it.
So our friend Kudo from Stomach of Chaos have corrected us about this not being his first comedic role in our second first impression short. So he said that his previous comedic role was in the movie Mechanic directed by Hafshab, if I'm not mistaken. So thank you for correcting us, Kudo. Yeah, and fun fact. So Yusuf Aslam, Datuk Yusuf Aslam, is the proud owner of a very big production house in Malaysia called Scope Productions, right? And yeah, he's a very senior actor. He previously as an actor himself before, and then he becomes a director, and then he's now mostly a producer, and now he's taking the back seat, and now asking his like offsprings to run the company now. He says, but he still plays a big role in the company in some capacity. And Zul Ariffin gets his start on a stint in Gerak Khas, which is a very long-running police procedural show in Malaysia, right?
Don't watch it.
But at one point we kind of enjoyed it because it was the product of his time. But now,
now it's basically like you turn that on while you as a background while you eat, you know, and you talk over it even.
so point being, he gets to act with his mentor, the guy who gets his career starting as father and son, and I found that is a sweet full circle, you know.
And even
Yeah.
when he was mainly a director, when he acted in the past, he's also like the pretty boy typecast, right? Because he looks
Yes.
very Western a bit. Yes,
Yeah,
like a mixed blood.
Yeah. Yep.
And now to
Yusuf
see
Aslam, you
him
mean? Yeah.
go full circle, going back to acting a bit and do this comedic stuff with good comedic timing, and be this like really warm father figure, and can also be very stern and seemingly annoying at first. Oh man, Yusuf Aslam, good stuff, man. Like I said, they don't need to get Yusuf Aslam, but they got him because they know exactly what to do with him, and they did what needs to be done.
Yes.
And then, of course,
Yes.
the long running, actor that he's been like a character actor for a while, and I did enjoy even in the 90s. Like, I'm a 90s baby. I can actually say that because I'm from 93. Okay, so by 96, by I'm 3, I already realized the 90s that's going around me. I'm not like a 1999 kid pretending to be 90s babies. Just want to say that you're not 90s. But anyways, since the 90s, when the economy was good, which is the only part actually about the 90s that I enjoy, the economy, I don't enjoy most of the media. But dude, Kopitiam, was it like from the early 2000s or 90s? That show is like kind of a feel good, especially the soundtrack. And Douglas Lee, man, to me, he has always been like a, like a rock in the entire thing.
Yes. Oh yeah, fun fact about Douglas Lim. He wrote the lyrics to the theme song.
Oh man.
Yeah, that song is a banger, man.
I mean, I didn't watch the show all that much. I can't even say I watched the middle, beginning, and the end. I don't know what season, I don't know what episode, but every time I turn it on, it's always like a chill time. It's like exactly what they show. Premise is all about kopitiam, you lepak, right? At the coffee shop, right?
Yeah.
And Douglas Lim is one of the guy that is like, and he never aged. I don't feel like he aged. He's really good
Yeah.
at Sheriff also, right?
Yes.
Ah,
Was he Sheriff? I think he was in. No, he was in Police Evo 3.
no. Sorry. The Experts.
The Experts, yes.
Yes,
The
he was.
Experts and Police Evo 3. He was in
Yeah,
both.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love him. He is really, I just love his smile, and and I'm gonna tell you straight up that he is my favorite character, and I think he gave the best performance. And the reason is why, because also again, I'm saying about having fun and having a bias, right? I played this little known game called Genshin Impact.
Oh, that very independent game.
Yes, very independent game. And I used to main Chong Yun, and he is like a he's like an exorcist, right? That has a cold blood, literal cold blood. When he goes around, these monsters, these ghosts, these spirits just gets away from him. And the character played by Douglas Lim, Aloysius, Master Aloysius, he also have that, but the ghost goes to him.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is this it just remind me of Chong Yun a lot, and I quite enjoy that. And the way, okay, I'm gonna get to that further when we get into this review, but the way they write the character and what he does is realistic to him. He does not go beyond his capabilities. That's what I'm gonna focus on later on this review. Now Douglas Lim, his character is the most consistent from the beginning to the end. And speaking of consistency,
Yes.
speaking of long running like kopitiam, dude, let's talk about like the biggest elephant in the room. That our dear friend, right? Suresh. Shout outs to him.
and Munif also, Munif, yes.
Yeah, the guy who made our channel in TikTok.
Our TikTok blew up. Yes.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Munif again.
Yeah. So they hate this guy. They hate this actor. And I kind of agree because, dude, as a scenario fan, I'm the kind of guy who's like, why is in this sort of scenario that's the chupa? And the reason is because sometimes shows, they are on hiatus.
Yes.
So there are copium shows taking over, and the main guy in there who's consistently terrible and bad in my opinion is Sechupak's own Ropi.
Yeah.
And even he is great on this one.
Yes. But
Oh my god, I love his character so much. Like he is like, you know, the anchor for the character Don Arif.
yeah.
And
His name is Jafar in this
yeah,
movie. Yes. This
Jafar
character.
is such a fun character. And I just realized his name is Jafar. It's kind of a reference of something else. It's a Disney reference in a way.
Oh,
In a way.
I think it tracks because it's about mysticism, right? So I
Yeah.
think it's Jafar
So,
from Aladdin, maybe.
yeah.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
As in a way, it's like a direct because like he's not a villainous character in this one or anything.
Yes.
He is other than the dad played by Yusuf Aslam. Ropi is also very in this one, right, as Jafar, is a very loving character that you can confide with.
Yes. Yes.
And he has this some kind of chemistry with the character Aloysius as well.
Yeah.
There's like a scene they share together, in particular that's nice. And yeah, Ropi is surprisingly good in this one. You know what I'm saying?
And according to the director, I know this is him joking, but I kind of agree with what he's saying. So he, I mentioned him in a comment in that TikTok video, right? So I said about Ropi being cringe, and then he agrees. Yeah, Ropi is cringe. So all I have to do is uncringe him.
The
And
director himself said that.
yes,
Yeah,
and boy
see?
he did.
Oh my god.
And boy he did uncringe him. Man, yeah.
This is
I never seen him like this committed to and having fun with the role.
and part of the reason
Yes.
is because usually he's left to his own devices. He's like basically the leader of the troop in Cecupa, right?
Yeah, the face of I'm not sure the leader, but he's the face.
Yeah, he kind of is, right?
Yes.
It's like the Saiful Apek, even though Saiful Apek is not from the original one, from Scenario, but he's kind of the face of Scenario when he start to come around, right? But this time, he is reserved a bit. It's like he's told, every time you think of saying something that you might want to say, reserve that a bit. So because of that, he's like fine-tuned to give this really good supporting role.
Yeah.
And no, Sagita,
Oh yeah, Sangita, right.
she
So-
is like I said blandest. He is I find her kind of bland in the past, and I don't see her that much, but she's really good at first comedy role as well. Like
Yes, first comedy role because she's usually does like Tamil stuff that is obscure to us Malaysian Malay audience, right? And then she made her mainstream debut in a very bad movie called Adiwiraku. Oh my god, that movie is
oh, she
freaking
was
boring.
from that. Was
Yes.
she the teacher or something?
Yeah, she's the teacher.
Okay, right.
Yeah. And actually, she had a cameo appearance in Baik Punya Along, actually. A very, very brief appearance. I don't know, you remember, but whatever.
I think I remember her face a bit.
Yeah. She was briefly in Baik Punya Along as a cameo. And now she's in this movie. And as for her first comedic role, yeah, I mean, she can work her way in, and the director knows how to use her, even though she's clearly not a comedic actor, right?
Yeah.
So that is very appreciated. He brings out the best in these actors.
Even his even her character's posse, like her partners, her assistants, they're pretty fun as well.
Yeah.
And I got to say, part of the reason why these characters shine is because of the writing too. Everything is just everyone is just so damn likable, man.
Yeah.
I don't hate any particular character at all. I mean, not even the villain. Although I think the performance is not the best. I think is the least liked by me. But the rest, dude, galak with this like
Oh, he's at home.
Alfred Pennyworth at home as with his like, he doesn't do the mustache twirling for some reason in this one, but he does this. Man, I love that, man. It's so intimidating.
This Alfred Pennyworth theory was confirmed by the director himself on our Instagram. So, woohoo! Spot on, bro.
And then even dude Aloy, he reprises basically, it never came out yet, but we did do a review of Fly Me to the Moon, right?
Yes.
And I talk about Woody Harrelson, how he is reprising his role as his character in No Country for Old Men. So to me, Aloy Paradox, he is reprising his role in actually not big and not well known short film that my brother did work on. He made the poster
And
and
subtitles.
edit and subtitle. Did edit? No, he did subtitles.
It's only the subtitles.
Yeah, the subtitles and the poster, right?
Yeah.
What was it called? Like
Walid mau bikin film.
Walid mau bikin film. Alo Paradox plays the exact same character. Like the characteristics is similar to that one. And as a fan of Walid mau bikin film that still watch it again from time to time,
Yeah.
I love it, man. His character is just apt. Again, no overshadowing.
Yeah.
A lot of people know their role. Not everyone. Just like I said, Yusuf Aslam, Igala, and Aloy, they didn't appear or say that many lines, not that many screen time. But when they are in, they are effective.
Yeah. So, we're talking about all these actors and their characters, right? They're great, and I think, it's just classic to tap into the law of Bomo and everything because that is ingrained with our culture, right? But since this is the modern age, so they have to mix it up a bit, right? So yeah, they're making Don Arif, and a shaman wannabe,
Shaman.
a shaman who's like an influencer as well because he wants to use his influencer prowess to further his shamanism, right? And then there's like Dr. Divya played by Sangeeta. She's the modern, the modern Ghostbuster, right? Because literally her gadgets is totally an homage to Ghostbusters with the stream and everything. And Aloysius is like an homage to, yeah, I'm talking about homage apparently right now, to like these Hong Kong movies where there's like the master of occult who can see things. And yeah, I would like to think so, like this director, and I think I said this on other avenues as well, that the influences of his jokes are not just at one place. He, you know, take bobs and bits and pieces of other culture to create his own brand of comedy.
A very inspired director.
Yeah, this is already apparent in his debut movie, which is Hantu Tok Mudim. Again, I can't stress that enough because this is a very solid debut from him. And to follow that up, carry on years later, again, purposely ignoring his other movies that I don't like. Yeah, he carries that brand of comedy, and it doesn't feel like. I mean, some people might call it forced, but if
none of it is forced in here.
yeah, no, I know some people does actually from other responses that I've seen.
Okay.
But for me, it's not forced at all. If you know your stuff, if you consume, more entertainment from all, from globally, it's not just one bubble, you will know like all these things came. You will know what he's doing in here.
And it comes off very natural.
Yes.
Because sometimes like a director can do something so obviously, or I wear my
Inspiration up my sleeve.
up my sleeve, like these are like two movies in particular. I'm not attacking anyone, I'm just using example. Gas Abdul Gaffar's
Gas Abu Bakar.
Gas Abu Bakar's, what do you call it, Police Evo. The movie is good, but the part that took me off is that they show multiple times how the one car that they blow up.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, relax. We watch this film from Bollywood with films from Bollywood
We went
before.
Hong Kong, we know.
And
yeah.
Hong Kong, like how you don't need. I get it, you're inspired by them, but that's like a very passe thing. In this movie, there's so many references that fly over my head. it kind of proves that the references go so naturally. And
Yes.
they are multi-layered, right?
Yeah.
That he can understand more of, that I know even less, because I don't know a lot of
There's an M Nasir reference out of nowhere,
Oh,
was
yeah,
out of pocket. That was funny as hell. And
and
then
it works.
and then there's like this, like, you talk in that short video that we did together, right?
Yeah.
We talk about close-up shots of food. Those close-ups are very Edgar Wright.
Oh yeah.
Very Edgar Wright, like Shaun of the Dead, kind of like zoom,
Hot
zoom, zoom,
Fuzz.
hot fuzz, all that.
Well,
Yeah.
of the connected trilogy, my favorite is Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, that was like, I mean, that was very cool because it tracks, because it's still a horror movie, right? So you put that in this, which is horror inspired.
And if you really keep count, there's just like 2 scenes. One is the pisang goreng,
yeah,
and then the other is the cendol.
and another one, I think, when they try to change gear or something. In
Yeah,
the
no,
car.
I'm talking about, I know you're talking about that effect. I'm talking
Yeah.
about, oh, sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Okay.
I am talking about food, right? Which they do the same effect as well.
Yes.
And to me, just like how Italian mock films and anything Italian have some kind of food references, you're gonna show like one of the even civilians cooking and the gangsters too. So what I'm saying is, what I like about this film, right? Other than the references for things outside, so outsiders can watch it like, man, that's a reference to my film, right? They can see that, right? Because the culture over there, usually they watch, other people's films as well. Like, there are a lot of directors in the world that are just too busy directing. They go on to the next job and the next job. They never like spend time to be a fan themselves, because they don't have the time. They don't have the luxury, or at least they don't think they do. Then they don't unable to make the time, right?
Yes.
So on top of that, these outsiders, these foreigners can understand the references, right? Because of how well staged the references are. It also represents Malaysia. Like I said, the cendol and the and in Malaysia culture,
races.
the main three main races, and the culture in Malaysia is very well represented without it being cringe. I didn't hear one Malaysia even once
Yeah.
mentioned in this movie, yet it has that energy.
Yes.
The people speak Rojak, these people speak Malay, and the people speak English.
Yes.
Like I said, the most consistent English has got to be from Douglas Lim. Sagita can be a little bit awkward, but she's still way better than she has been before.
And
Like I
hell,
said,
even Ropi speaks English, man.
yeah. And Ropi's English, like, is fun. The
Yes,
timing, the comedic timing of what he says. Usually, I don't even chuckle. I find it lowbrow when people do dialect jokes, right? Oh, it's funny because they say it in this dialect. That's the kind of joke, right? It's kind of like lowbrow. But the way Ropi goes about it with the comedic timing, perfect, man.
Yeah.
And
I know what you're saying.
this is I'm glad you reciprocate. This is such a fun film, right? And I don't know why did we say earlier, right? But you kind of were like, man, I'm confused, right? For people who still ever watch this film, it says Don Dukun, but it also has these 2 other people who also fights ghosts, right?
Yeah.
With another school of thought of handling the situation.
Yes.
How is this one not going to be like a religious comparison, and 2, how is this not going to besmirch the teachings of even the main character's approach?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. This movie, like I said, like Harry Potter, is not concerned with that. It's like this other world, and it's just that age old question. Oh, who do I pray to? Who's God? And then you keep wondering. Oh, in the Malay exorcist films, usually they like use the Quran.
Yes.
And then in the Christian exorcist films, they use you use the cross and the Bible, right?
Yes.
So you're like, oh, which is the right approach? The movie goes out to not answer that question, because that does not matter, and that's not the point of the movie, which I like. We can just enjoy that. Okay, it's like an RPG, right? So it's like, okay, so how do we beat that monster? Do we need a monk? Do we need a red mage? Or do we need like a white mage to make sure that everyone stays alive and they life get top off, and when they like they're running out and whatever, right? The answer is yes. A combination. There's a problem, there's a boss, you need to beat it. You use a combination of ways to go about it. And it is not about whose way is more effective and who's the right one. Because even if there's a sense of competition in the beginning between the three, which I like, which again, does a way better job than this one movie that he tricked me into watching, Buskers, which
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Switch and Beat, which I thought is going to talk about busking culture. Is going to be a lot of interaction between buskers and how they back each other up, right? In this world that kind of rejects or ignores buskers. It turns out it's just fluff, and the main thing is a love story, and it's a very boring one at
I'm
that.
sorry, man. I'm still feel bad about that.
This movie actually shows the culture of exorcism, of people approaching in different ways. Dude, I forgot to talk about it in the beginning also. There's also another opening, another inception, right? That, oh my god.
Oh, yeah,
The convention thing.
Yeah.
It was so goddamn fun.
hell, man?
And
Shaman convention. What
then
the
it
heck?
is so good. And it started off with women fawning over Zul Ariffin, which like you can find it that these people are pretending and they're so bad at acting and they're exaggerating how everybody swoons over him. But if you met him in real life, like we did, we go, he did once before for the movie. What was it?
We did go to Sheriff.
No, I know, even before that.
Yeah. So,
Where you were with movie addict back then.
yeah.
He tries to interview him. He didn't get to, right?
Yeah.
And then later where we go for Sheriff's
Set visit.
site visit.
Set visit.
We
Yeah.
go behind the scenes, right?
Yeah.
Dude, you can see you don't just look at him and was taken, by him yourself. You can also see the women in real life fawning over him
Yeah, I mean,
as he makes the tour, as he's walking around.
if I could, I want to fawn over him. Like,
Yeah.
dude's a stud, man.
So yeah, that's already realistic.
Yes.
And then there's the Aloysius thing where he straight up. I like the other two, which is like a minus spoiler or whatever. Like he actually have more of a direct connection to these things where he can have the third eye, and he just straight up connect his third eye to a bunch of people to see what's behind him, and you can straight up see the ghost.
Yeah.
And
That's a cool establishment.
yeah, and the thing
Good
is
setup.
too, that was kind of scary. I mean, when I say kind of is because the makeup is cheap enough to look like it's a comedy movie, but the setup is scary enough because it resembles the ghost in the folklore.
I think the implication makes it scary.
The
Yes.
implication makes it scary.
Yes.
We will get more into the atmosphere after this. And then there's the Sangita one. And then there was like, what was it? Kaitu? Was it?
Yeah, our friend, yeah.
Right.
He's a stuntman mostly, but yeah, he's there.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Maybe more of his friend because I don't remember a Kaitu in my recent memory. But
Yeah.
shout outs to Kaitu.
Yes.
I like your performance in this one.
Even though it's very short. Yeah. It's just an extra, basically.
It's a good it's a good wire work wire work scene.
Most of the fireworks are good, actually.
That's how good it is. That is the only time where I
He
really
didn't
think
realize the firework. He didn't realize the firework.
there's a wire work. Like the other times, like I'm so normie still, even as like I'm more like I'm not a film buff. I'm a wannabe film buff, right? That of course there are scenes towards the end, like a witch flying. Of course, that's wire work.
Yeah.
How can I?
And he just realized that, I guess that's how good the firework is this time around. It's not as noticeable. I say it because it's obviously a firework. That's it. But he didn't say anything bad about it, even as we like casually talk, because this guy is petty. Okay,
I'm very petty.
The very moment he sees something that is not right, that is not aligned with his taste, he will like, what is this shit? What is this? What is that? What is
Despite
that?
my
What are those?
biases, I am ready to hate, man. Because this guy told me to watch Baik Punya Along, and dude, I enjoy Joker 2, Folie à Deux, genuinely way more than I do Baik Punya Along. And that's the last time I'm going to talk about that. Right?
Hopefully.
And as we go on this journey, right, trying to watch more and more films and trying to become more of a film buff, right, we find that we like have different opinions on a lot of stuff.
We have different palettes actually.
We have really different palettes. Like why he likes the film, this film right now that we're talking of might differ from me, and I like that. I like that variety, and that's the point of discovering the world of cinema. What works for you, and this movie really works for me.
I was really nervous, man, because I was so afraid that I'm overselling it to him, because of like the trauma that I endured for Baik Punya Along, for Buskers, and I don't know whatever else movie, right? I'm like, am I overselling this to him?
Saying of Baik Punya Along, right? I just want to talk about like the puns, right? There is a part where they keep talking about how this one character is kind of a tiger. And then there's like a really fun montage that involves the character Dr. Divya and Master Aloysius. That is like what do you call it thing? A payoff for that pun. That's what I think Baik Punya Along lacks. The weight. Like if you want to say the pun, or you want to say, some kind of like a references, some kind of things that rhyme, things like that, everything, you have to have a payoff, right? This movie has payoffs when it comes to the pun. And other than Baik Punya Along, right? The thing about the pun also, the puns are active puns. Because, for example, in the TV series Two Broke Girls, that's like this Coldplay references.
It was kind of weak.
Damn, dude, she burned you.
No, hipster. No. Do not think we're on the same team. We have nothing in common. I wear knit hats when it's cold out. You wear knit hats because of cold play.
It was kind of weak because it's just saying a line, or that thing that person wearing is doing this, blah blah blah. But there is no payoff in terms of action, because this is a visual medium, right? Just like the late great Bruce Lee says, a motion picture needs movement, right? So you kind of need to see the movement that comes with the pun, especially in a movie that is like kind of relies on puns here and there, and even slapstick humor, a comedy. That's what I want to say about the pun as an addendum.
Speaking of payoffs, on second viewing, I just realized that this movie has very subtle Chekhov's gun. Like, for example, like maybe if you see some of the details, like when you see a character wearing a certain kind of clothes, or a certain prop that they hold, that actually signifies what will happen, the revelation that will happen, be revealed in the movie.
Really
Like-
solid writing.
Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't really, honestly, because most not so good Malay movies are not so good, because everything is just too on the nose and too straightforward and no thinking required. This movie is like, just put it there in the back of your mind, and then you realize, oh, that's why this
Yeah.
becomes that.
They don't just have obvious
Yeah.
jokes, right? They also have like this subtle writing.
Okay.
The stuff you say. I'm not going to elaborate more. You already give some examples.
Well, we want to talk about the emotional stuff. I mean, you cried, man. He
Yeah,
cried.
yeah, there is like one particular scene that straight out made me cry, involving Yusuf Aslam and Zul Ariffin, and like I was bawling my eye, and it was a very short scene, and the movie does this thing where it's like it knows exactly what it is, and it has actual emotional beats that is not so much so that okay, now you cry, now you laugh. it keeps you on your toes. You will cry naturally when it's time to cry. You will laugh naturally when it's time to laugh.
I had no idea. I mean, it is a moving scene, but I have no idea that it makes him cry. When it makes him cry, it means it works.
Yeah, like I am a very, I mean, people who know me, who are my friends, they gotta know that I'm very expressive. But there is another side of me, especially when I'm at work. I'm not going to be serious. I'm not smiling to the point that people, even my boss asks me like, "Why do you smile?" Right? This is simple because I'm working. Why would I smile at work? And if someone tells a joke at work and it's funny, I'm gonna laugh. But for the most part, I'm gonna be reserved because, like, dude, I wanna have fun here. I wanna be expressive here, not at work, right? So when I am crying, dude, I am really crying, and it is like only expression of how I really feel at the time. I am not going to. I'm the kind of film watcher that does not hide his feelings. And no, I'm not gonna say lari, lari, kenapa dia tak lari? I'm not gonna do that kind of thing.
Which
But
I
what I
sometimes
do
do.
instead is just I try to be respectful of other people and their space when I don't have to. And when I'm in the right company, like for example, the public places and everything, I'm going to cry quietly to myself. And I am going to be honest with it. So if even if I know this is fiction, if there's time to cry, I will. But if the way they do it doesn't hit, I don't cry. It's that simple.
Okay. What else?
Yeah, the atmosphere.
Right.
When it's scary, it's scary too. Again, not that it's like 100 Scoville, 1,000 Scoville kind of heat, scary. No, 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 no. It's more like they're trying to make a scary atmosphere, and you feel it to the point that like some of my hair stand up in certain scenes.
Yeah. But at the same time, referring to when you name drop Alif dalam Tujuh Dimensi, right? So that is where the comedic part of horror comedy in this movie comes in. They treat those things as if they're like some kind of monster they can just like slap around, throw around, and that is part of the comedy beats of this movie. Like, I don't know, man. I mean, the fact that they treat this thing as your typical troll or like goblin, because you have to know something like Malaysian supernatural beings. They're like, you cannot see them with naked eye, but the fact that they're making them like very palpable and physical in this movie, and then it's so that these dons, the Don family, can like throw these things around for that comedy effect. It's gold, man. It's gold.
And
It's gold.
the thing is too, right? I forgot to make this connection, but I'm gonna say it now. Dude, how about the fact that while you're kind of laughing, mind you, I'm not gut bustingly laughing all the way. That is not why I enjoy this film. I am smiling for the most part and laugh here and there, and it is been consistent. I don't feel the 1 hour and 30 minutes duration apparently of the film. It's a easy watch, and I kind of want this film to be like one of those Piramli films like Do Re Mi, which I think it does a bit of like using the formula of, which I think that movie is kind of bad. And then there's Hantu Kalima, which follows that formula to the T, and that's the whole movie.
Which reminds me, Zul Ariffin was in that movie as a shaman.
Oh, so
as
it's kind of
well.
a reference.
But it's a
also.
different character.
Right. And that movie was bad. But this movie, although it has some kind of the Do Re Mi reference in terms of like, oh, I do this first, then I fail, then you try and you
Again,
try.
very inspired.
Very inspired. I want this to replace Do Re Mi. Like for the people in the 90s that, oh, this is the classic Piramli movie. So they play over and over again till you get sick of it. Like it's another Piramli movie again every time if there's an occasion, right? Like it's Hari Raya, they play it. It's Raya Haji, they play it. Oh, there is Maudino Restaurant, they play it. And someone is going to a hospital, they play it. It's just so freaking boring, right? you get sick of it. I want Don Dukun to be the next one. Yeah, I want to get sick of this movie at one point because it keeps
Yeah, he
repeating
has
itself.
that classic status in the
He
making.
has the potential.
Yeah, the
We can say
potential.
we don't know yet.
Yeah, but he has that potential. I hope it does.
We're Nostradamus over here, hopefully. And dude, in terms of the atmosphere and the delivery and everything, I know I can see the clock as much as you. We're going out in a few minutes, right?
Yeah.
The ebb and flow of the whole thing goes of natural that I'm kind of like,
I'm in danger.
so I'm like in the middle, like I was laughing, and it connects to something that's actually scary. So I'm nervous laughing now. I'm like giggling as in find it comedy, and then I'm nervous laughing, and then I'm like, there are some scenes that or regarding the exorcism attempts that feels like, oh, do I laugh because of fun or do I laugh because I'm scared? And there's also the emotional, sentimental scenes that do I get excited of the action that I just previously watched, or do I cry now? It comes and go that it achieves is this is the second, and maybe if it's not the second, maybe it's like one of the few five that actually can do it other than Get Out. Jordan Peele's Get Out. You don't know when to laugh, or you don't know when to be scared because they keep doing it. Oh my god, it's so good. I love this movie. I love it through and through. And I have all my biases stating it here, right? But one of it is not paid. I pay for my own ticket, okay? I didn't get to go to the premiere.
Yeah. I paid. I watched the movie for free, and then I paid for it again. Yes.
So there's no paid review. I want to crush that paid review bullshit. Your opinion is invalid. I don't care if you're a director. I don't care if you're a critic. You're dumb. Like seriously. I enjoyed this film, and I even like spend my time before work watching it. Oh yeah, by the way, it works as a buff. If I'm the Sims 4 or Sims T character,
Yeah. You will make him. You will be happy after the
like
fact.
it's like kind of like a buff during work, right? It helps me work better, it helps a lot. I give it this film with all my biases and the fact that I enjoy it and not watching it with my too much of a critical side, more like me as a normie, fan in the crowd type of vibe here. I give it a 9.6 out of 10.
As for me, I forgot to give my score. I mean, in the short review, first impression again that I did with him, I forgot to give my score. Then I forgot to give my score during my video with Munif. So I'm gonna give both of my scores. For the Gala Premier score, I give it a simple 8 out of 10, which is also on Buzzpop, by the way. I also did a shorter review on Buzzpop. For the second viewing, I'm going to give it 8.9 out of 10.
And
Yes.
I know there are like movies that people really critically acclaim. Like for example, the movie The Substance. People talk about it. I gave that an 8 if I'm not mistaken, and I gave the movie after that, Smile 2, even higher than The Substance, right?
Yeah.
The review is not out yet. I don't think in our channel, but you might see it at one point. So this movie, I think around Smile 2's rating, and I think the most important thing as film watchers especially is that we are able to judge it, try to be as objective as possible, but at the end of the day realize that we all have our biases, we all can be very subjective a lot of the times, and we just accept that fact. So 9.6 for me is not the fact that it is a masterpiece, it is like you cannot beat it, like this is the best film ever. It's more like I really did enjoy this film more than the other films that I mentioned, and that's why it gets the score that it does.
And yeah, I think we already ramble on for too long for this movie. Please go watch it. It's been out since 31st of October. And don't worry, be happy. We out. I'm bringing this back.